Peace and welcome to the Atlantis School for Gifted Youngsters. Thanks for watching and subscribing to our channel.
28, wisdom build or destroy. Okay, so wisdom is right discernment. Me and Say Love was building about this the other day. You may hear people say, wisdom is wise words being spoken. Again, that's just as broad and as ambiguous as just saying culture is a way of life. It really doesn't tell you nothing. Wisdom is wise words being spoken. No, that's not what it is. You can't use the same word to describe the word and shit. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom, by definition, is right discernment. Discernment is judgment. So judgment, so when you look at a word, it has a lot of synonyms as well as antonyms. So you have words that are attached to it. So when you start breaking down the word, you start seeing the interrelationships or the connections or correspondences of that word. So just in wisdom, you also have justice that's being implied. Because if wisdom is right discernment and discernment is judgment, judgment is connected to jurisprudence. Jurisprudence is connected to justice. So in order for somebody to be saying and doing something wise, it has to have an element of justice present there. That's how you can see it, just off that definition alone. So if you're around somebody and they talking all fancy and shit like that, but they're grimy, that's not wisdom.
Right.
I'm
Right.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That is not wisdom. It's something else. It ain't wisdom though. So when you look at wisdom, you also have a lot of words connected to it. Intelligence, shrewd, guile, cunning, sophistication. You have all of these various different words. Anytime you look at the mathematics, you have, or any of those words, you have synonyms associated with the word. Those synonyms or other words give you different dimensions of that word. So when you look at wisdom in terms of intelligence, or you look at it in terms of discernment, you have different degrees of that. So 4 of the different degrees of wisdom that I talk about a lot is you have wisdom, you have sophistication, you have cunning, and you have guile. And if you looked at it vertically, wisdom is up here because it's right discernment. Sophistication is a degree below wisdom because it's considered worldly wisdom. Sophistication comes from the school of sophists in Greece that learn the art of debate and rhetoric. They learn the art of conversation. Basically, people who are sophisticated are more aligned to being socialites. They may not be really wise because they may not be in that arena of doing things in terms of right discernment, but they are sophisticated enough to be able to socialize and to pass into various different domains. But it ain't wisdom, because sophistication does not dictate or define itself as right discernment. So you can be sophisticated all you want, but that don't mean you right. In order for you to be wise, you have to have the element of being right present. That's what distinguishes it. So some of the people that you come in contact with, they're sophisticated. They're not wise though. All you have to do is assess what they're doing right. Where's their sense of justice at? Because that's going to distinguish those different degrees of intelligence, because all of them are forms of intelligence. Sophisticated people are very intelligent. Wise people are intelligent. Cunning people are intelligent, and beguiling people are also intelligent, but they're different degrees of intelligence. And you have to be able to distinguish that. Why? Because when you connect it to build or destroy, if you're not able to properly distinguish what it is, you may put yourself in a position where you could either be adding on to something that you shouldn't, or you might be in a destructive or a bad situation. So it's important for you to distinguish what is actually what. You go down from sophistication, you have cunning. the further you go down, the denser you become and the darker you become. So cunning like a fox. That's what that is oftentimes described as. Foxes are nocturnal. They operate in the shadows. You probably got foxes living around you right now, but wouldn't even know it because you've seldom crossed their path. They operate in the shadows. Yup, tricksters. So people who are cunning are very intelligent, but they don't use right discernment. So this is, and I'm showing y'all something too. Then beneath cunning, you have beguiling. That's where you have people that use straight trick knowledge. That's the opposite of wisdom, because they definitely aren't doing anything right. So this is how you test a person to see if they really dealing with wisdom. You have to emphasize situations and scenarios that deals with justice. Their response to that is going to tell you whether they are intelligent in the arena of wisdom, whether they're just sophisticated, whether they're cunning, or whether they're beguiling. There's no way for them to fake that shit until they make it. No way. But you just have to emphasize a situation or scenario that requires a sense of justice and see how they respond. If they're not saying some shit that's right in terms of right justness, you know it ain't wisdom. You know it's not wisdom. When you're able to use that technique that I just showed you by presenting situations and scenarios that requires a sense of justice and see how a person responds to it, it reveals whether they're wise or not, or if they have a aspect of wisdom. That also shows you evidence of what they have the capacity to build or destroy. Because that's what we're talking about, building or destroying, and its relationship to wisdom. That's how you figure it out. So sometimes you meet people and they talk real cool. You know, they got some, you know, they could talk. All you got to do is just keep introducing situations and scenarios that requires a sense of justice and see how they respond to it. Or if they're talking about some of their experiences, pose a question to them that exposes a sense of justice and see how they respond. Because that's how you're going to see if it's real wisdom there.